Good evening to all. Again, we are back to our English class. We were dealing with the second unit, Bonds of Love, in which the lesson 2, it's a poem, Song of a Dream, written by Sarojini Naidu. So, in our last class, we went through the poet Sarojini Naidu and also the summary of the poem. I hope you all understood it. Now, let us see in detail. Song of a Dream. Once in a dream of a night I stood, long in the light of a magical wood, soul deep in visions that poppy-like sprang, and spirits of truth were the birds that sang, and the spirits of love were the stars that glowed, and the spirits of peace were the streams that flowed, in that magical wood in the land of sleep. Once in a dream of a night I stood, long in the light of a magical wood. Here the poet is trying to convey her dream. One night in a dream, the poetess sees herself standing alone in a magical wood. See the next line, soul deep in vision that poppy-like sprang. Poppy means it's a poppy flower. The vision of the wood was like a bloomed poppy, and her soul merged fully and deeply in that vision. Okay, and the spirits of truth were the birds that sang, and the spirits of love were the stars that glowed, and the spirits of peace were the streams that flowed. What does it mean? She hears the songs of the bird, that were the spirits of truth. The songs were the spirits of truth, and she saw the glowing stars, that were the spirits of love. And also she saw the flowing stream, that is a spirit of peace. She sensed the flowing stream, that were the spirits of peace, in the magical wood in the land of sleep. So all these she experienced on that magical wood in the land of sleep. She is in a sleep. Okay. Poppy, the word poppy means it's a poppy flower. Okay, it's seen in the picture, and sprang means stood up or bloomed. Glowed means shone brightly. Now look at the next stanza. Long in the light of that magical grove, I felt the stars of the spirits of love gather and gleam round my delicate youth, and I heard the song of the spirits of truth. To quench my longing, I bent me low by the streams of the spirit of peace that flow in that magical wood in the land of sleep. Look at the first 3 lines. What does it mean? When the poetess was alone in the magical garden, grove means garden, she felt like her youthful self was surrounded by gleaming stars, that were the spirits of love. Gleaming means shine, shining stars. Song of the spirits of truth. That means she heard the birds sing the songs of the spirit of truth. To quench my longing, I bent me low. What does it mean? The poetess wishes for the freedom of her motherland. For quenching that wish, she bent herself low by the stream, which was the spirits of peace. By the streams of the spirits of peace that flow, and in that magical wood in the land of sleep. Everything happens in the dream. Symbolically, as we quench our thirst by scooping up water in our cupped hands from a stream, likewise the poetess wants to fulfill the freedom of her motherland. Let's go through the poetic devices in the poem. Here the poetess embodies the abstract qualities of love, truth, peace, etc., tangible things in this universe. In her dreamland, birds are the embodiments of truth, stars are that of love, streams are that of peace. The poetic devices metaphor is used here now, yes, to compare things. When these abstract qualities are embodied and attributed having spirits, that means soul, which is a clever crafting of personification. The poem has 2 stanzas of 7 lines each, means septet, with a rhyme scheme of A, B, B, C, C, D. The term magical wood itself creates an inexplicable visual image for the readers. The poppy, birds, stars, and streams also create beautiful visual images in their mind. The singing of birds form an auditory image. When the poet says that the vision in the magical wood is like a poppy springs up, which becomes an instant of a poetic device simile. It's an example for simile. Examples of alliteration can be seen in the expressions like long in the light, stars of the spirit of love gather and gleam, songs of the spirit, streams of spirit, etc. Now, let's go through the appreciation of the poem Song of a Dream. Sarojini Naidu, who is known as the Nightingale of India, was an Indian political activist and a poet. She was the first Indian woman to be the first president of International Congress. Her poems include both children's poems and others written in serious themes including patriotism, romance and tragedy. The Bird of Time, The Broken Wings, The Snake Chamber are some of her works. In the poem, Sarojini Naidu describes a beautiful dream she had. She dreams of the world devoid of evil, a dream in which truth, love, and peace are embodied in tangible forms of nature. They are no more just abstract ideas, but are made into things which have proper shape and size. In her dreams, truth is transformed into singing birds, love into glowing stars, peace into flowing streams. In the second stanza, the poet is feeling and touching the spirits of truth and love. She longs for a country where all people live in peace, love, and truth. And the spirits of love, like the stars, gather and gleam round her tender youth. The spirits of truth, like the living birds singing round her. She bent low to quench her thirst from the streams that are the spirits of peace. And spirits of love is compared to stars that shine. Those stars can be people of India who struggle and hope for Indians' freedom. Spirits of peace is compared to the flowing river. It is clear in these lines that India is devoid of peace when she writes a poem, and she is dreaming of an India with peace, love, and togetherness. That is, the poet longs for the land of peace which is as clear as streams. In the poem Song of a Dream, the poet is all alone in a dreamland where she feels everything magical. Her visions are compared to the exploited poppies in her dreamland. The poet could see the spirits of truth singing like a bird. Angels of truth is compared to the birds that sing. She uses metaphor here. The poet uses sensory images in the poem. Sarojini Naidu is well known for her use of imagery. Visual imageries appeals to the sense of sight. Visual imageries in the poem are birds, rivers, stars, poppy, magical groove, stars, woods, etc. Auditory images appeals to the sense of sound or hearing. Singing birds, flowing streams, sound of streams that flow are the auditory images. Olfactory images like smell of poppy that appeals a sense of smell. The poet uses rhyming words in the poem which makes the poem more beautiful. The first stanza stood, wood, sprang, sang, glowed, flowed, sleep. The second stanza grew, love, youth, truth, low, flow, sleep. So the rhyming scheme is A, A, B, B, C, C, D. Okay, this is the rhyming scheme of the poem. Alliteration also adds to the beauty of the poem. Repetition of same consonant sound in the same line. Example, love in the light, stars of the spirit of love, gather and gleam, streams of the spirit of truth, and the stars of the spirit of peace, etc. Consonant sounds are repeated and they are known as alliteration. So, we see the Naidu leads tangibility to abstract ideas through her brilliant imagination. We, readers, enjoy the walk through the magical wood as imagined by the poet. The poem is not to be read as a mere dream poem, but it is an expression of the poet's vision for her motherland. In 1905, when the poem first appeared in the collection of songs and poems published as a Golden Threshold, India was a British colony. Now let's recall it. Introduction should be there, literary meaning should be there, imageries, then lyrical qualities, figurative meanings, poetic devices, message should be given, then conclusion should be there. Okay, I hope you understood the poetic devices and how to write an appreciation of the poem. So try to do activity 3, 4 and 5. Okay, if there is any doubt you can ask me. See you in next class.